Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and get started in Unit 2. We're going to be talking about building your database, which for a network marketer, that's a big deal. So Brennan, if you want to go ahead and share the screen, we'll go right into the slide deck.
Let's do it. If you've been around this for a while, you're going to love this, because one of the things that we have difficulty with is who to talk to, running out of people. So this is going to be great for everybody, whether you're new or been around this for a while. So jump in.
Okay, so this question, you got to memorize this question. It's an easy one. Are you on Facebook? You guys, this is gold. When you come across somebody, how many times have you been out and about in your day and like you're trying to database, right? You're trying to add people constantly into your database. And a lot of times it's hard to connect with them. Sometimes you can get a phone number, but maybe you don't always get a call back or a text back. Here's the awesome thing about this question is, are you on Facebook? You can connect with them and start building a little bit of a relationship even once you both have gone about back to your normal lives. And it allows you really to have long-term conversation. And even if it doesn't turn into a conversation immediately, they can sit back and watch you a little bit on Facebook and you can attract them to your business. I just had this experience recently. I had a doctor's appointment. The nurse came in. You know, they're asking for what things you're taking, what you do, that sort of thing. So I talked to her a little bit and she was like, wow, that's really interesting. I'm like, well, are you on Facebook? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, let me add you as a friend and I can connect you to some information. We'll get into that later. But now we're connected. And you know what? Honestly, the conversation hasn't really gone very far. But I noticed that she's kind of watching things that I do. She's watched one of your lives,
right? She's liking some of your stuff.
So the thing of it is it's allowing me to stay in her mind, and you never know where that can lead, right?
Yeah, I love this, because one of the biggest problems for a new distributor is getting asked questions.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do, right? So the worst thing you can do is start answering those questions. So if you really don't know the person that well, grocery store, at the school, the gym, something that you're just passing by and the conversation starts up, and they say, what do you do? Say, oh man, I'm glad you asked. Are you on Facebook? I can add you to a private group, and we're going to get into that. But this, guys, is amazing. Like, almost everybody is on Facebook.
Right.
Hardly anybody says no to this question. And we're going to show you some pro tips today that's going to make you look so cool. Like, they're going to be happy they met you after we show you some of these cool little tricks.
You know, and the cool thing too is I think that people are more inclined to connect on Facebook than even to give a phone number.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. They can learn a whole lot more about you on Facebook, but nonetheless, that's just kind of how people's psyche works. So this question is a must. The next slide here talks about unfriending and adding friends. Okay, so here's the deal. If you're new to Facebook, you don't have friends to unfriend yet, right? But if you've been around for a while, you need to start cleaning out your friends list and ensure that you've got the right people on there. Because here's the deal. This is no longer like a social setting. This is like, I'm looking for people that I can build and expand my business with. So every day you want to be diligent about adding 5 friends and maybe removing 5 friends if need be. I know a lot of times people get on Facebook, and especially in our company, we have such amazing, amazing people that we're friends with, but I don't necessarily want to fill up my entire friends list with people that are already in my company. They're not going to grow my business. It's nice to be friends with them, but my closest friends, I have their phone number too, and I can connect with them on a different level. And my focus is building my business on Facebook.
I think that's a good message to tell people. Like, when they friend you, we're going to get into this with Messenger, but just let them know that I'm using Facebook to grow my business.
Right.
And so, yeah, there's a certain number of people on our team
Sure.
that we have as friends. But if I don't know them intimately and we don't talk on a regular basis, then I'm more than likely not going to have them as friends on my account, so that I have plenty of room to, as Lynette just said, to build people that are not in LifeVantage. That's the beauty, is I want as close to 5,000 people that don't know anything about LifeVantage, so that they can be attracted to me.
Well, and if you're new to Facebook also, it can be overwhelming when there's all these posts. I mean, it's like a black hole when you go on there and start reading everybody's posts. And there are settings where you can have the people that you're prospecting their information come up first, or, you know, a list where you can kind of get their feed and comment and engage. But I know when I first joined, it was a little bit overwhelming, everybody's stuff. And like, you feel this need to read it all and respond to it all and watch everything. You just can't. There's not enough hours in the day. You know, that message there about don't go to Facebook jail. Brandon mentioned in Unit 1 that if you have too many posts on a daily basis, you can go to Facebook jail. Well, listen, there's other ways to go to Facebook jail. Another way is that you have too many pending friend requests, like you've requested the world and they're not accepting you and they're just pending. You need to go in every couple of weeks and delete some so that you don't have too many pending, because that can get you put in Facebook jail. Here's another thing that can: adding too many friends at one time. You add too many friends at one time, Facebook jail. So it's funny, all these little things about Facebook you have to learn, but that's why we're here, to help you through the shortcuts.
That's right.
Is there anything else that'll get you in Facebook jail that we should mention right now? Or
no, just make it a habit on a daily basis to kind of purge the negativity, purge people that really aren't active, aren't communicating with you, because honestly, that's what we're trying to do here. That's what this unit is about, is databasing and creating conversations. And so if there are just people just sitting there like, you know, lumps on a log, that's not what you want.
Right.
You might want to purge them a little bit.
Right.
So
yeah. Okay. So join Facebook groups. A lot of times when you hear, okay, add 5 people a day, who do I add? Like, I don't know who to add. Well, this is a great way to find people to add. Join Facebook groups on topics that resonate with you. If you love fitness, if you love, you know, cooking, if you love fishing, whatever it is, find groups that you can join. Because here's the deal. The reason I say find ones that resonate with you, the whole idea is that you can add value to the post with posts so that you can engage in conversation and start creating relationships with people that you've never met. So if it's a topic that resonates with you, then it'll come naturally to put a post on something that would benefit the other people on that team. The whole idea, really, when you get into that group, is to just become the most popular person in there. You're liking this, you're adding value here, you're commenting here, you're doing whatever you can to add value. And again, because it can become overwhelming, because you can completely fall into this black hole of Facebook and consume all of your time with it if you're not careful, you have to have a strategy. So your strategy, pick 2 groups to focus on for the week. Find 5 to 10 people to interact with. Kind of make a mental note. Interact with those people. Schedule 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening for this purpose. Not to read all of your friends' posts, not to, you know, watch whatever videos. Focused effort. Because if you don't come into Facebook with a plan of attack, you'll just allow it to eat up your time. One
of the things that I read or heard that I love with these groups is that you got to request to get in the group. So there's administrators and moderators. When you get into the group, message them, thanking them for letting you in the group.
The administrator.
Yeah, the administrator, thanking them, and maybe giving like a little introduction, right, to the group with a picture of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, this is who I am. This is why I'm in the group. You know, this is how long I've been cooking, or this is how long I've been sewing, or this is how long we've owned boats. This is exciting. I'm looking forward to being a part of this group. And that way, the administrator and the moderators, if you ever do something that they don't like, they probably won't kick you out of the group if they know you're kind of a decent person.
Right. So he kind of mentioned 2 things there. You're messaging the administrator, just thanking them for taking the initiative and setting up the group, and you're happy to be a part of that community. But then also, when you join that group, put a picture of yourself, like he said, kind of giving a little bit of history, like, hey, I'm here, this is me, this is what I do. Because the more you can put yourself out there, the better.
If it's a group about horses and horseback riding, take a picture of you with your horses and say, here's my baby. And here's, you know, so just introduce yourself to the group, because ultimately we're trying to get these conversations going.
Right. And then the last thing there, identify, add, request, and message. Okay. what you're wanting to do is identify people that you want to connect with. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm in some groups and I go and check out the people's profile and I'm like, ooh, I don't want them in my, I don't want them to be my friend. So you're not trying to create relationships with people that you don't want to be business partners with. So keep that in mind. But identify people that you want to add as a friend, send the friend request. And here's the most important part, message them. Okay. We're going to talk about Facebook Messenger next, but you want to message them because it's all about relationships. If you're just an obscure person, then you have to develop the conversations. So the next page here talks about Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, this is something that I want to speak to because I'm quickly becoming like a messenger addict because it is so awesome, so powerful. So guys, there's Facebook and then there's Messenger, right? It's two separate apps, right? So we're not talking about having these conversations inside your Facebook comments and posts.
Mm-mm.
These conversations are on another app that Facebook owns called Messenger.
So you have to go to the App Store on your phone and download it. It's a separate download.
Correct. And so what we want to have a ton of conversations going on. And we're going to share screens here in a little bit and show you some cool stuff. But the cool thing about Messenger is that so many conversations that are happening on our normal text messaging threads or apps like WhatsApp, a lot of it's moving to Messenger because there's so many cool things you can do there. Voice messages that add another level of communication versus text, and video messaging, which is really, really, really cool. Little 15-second clips to say hello and add that personal touch. We're going to dig into this some more in some of our upcoming units about exactly how to use Messenger to just light your team on fire. But that's why we're encouraging you to use Messenger. I know it can be a little cumbersome. Like I got messages over here on regular text messages. I got messages in WhatsApp. It's crazy. It's a lot of billions, right, of people conversations going on Messenger every day. And so you can create a real conversation there, not just this superficial text or emoji. Like through voice and video, we start to really connect with people. And that's really what our goal is here, guys. Our goal is like a three-step process, really. You think of Facebook as step one, where you meet someone, okay, and you're like a Facebook friend now, but they're really not our friends, most of them, right? The second base is on Messenger, because here you can start to really have a relationship, a conversation with people, get to know them. And ultimately our goal in all of this, if we're going to database and do all this, is to gain a customer or a new distributor, right? And so there's a process. So think of it like a three-step process. We go from Facebook to Messenger to probably an offline conversation. If they're going to become a distributor, they're going to be a customer. You may be able to gain them right within Messenger, never even have a conversation with them. But I like to take it offline because ultimately network marketing is all about relationships. And so the sooner you can go from online to offline, the quicker you can do that, that means your skills and talents are pretty good.
Well, and the only other thing I was going to say is that Messenger portion that happens in the middle, that's where the ice gets broke. I know I've connected with friends from high school, which wasn't that long ago. Yeah, I know. So here's the thing. If I've not talked to them in a couple years, I don't want to just start.
I got people I went to school with that are bald. It's been a while.
There's a gap of time that's missing. So if we're able to message offline saying, hey, it's so good to connect with you again. How have you been? What have you been up to? I see you're living here. It breaks the ice for further future conversations.
Yeah, and as Lynette said, this is about stepping our game up in communication to another level that we're not going to get in text messaging. Messenger, guys, is the bomb. You're going to love it. I'm in love with it. And we're going to show you some cool things. But let me show you something right now that is so cool. Right? This is going to start to set you apart. So let me share this. I'm going to have to come off the PowerPoint. And I'm going to share my phone with you guys. We should be finding it soon. Okay, here we are. Isn't that cool? That's so high tech. All right. So here is my messenger down at the bottom. I've got some active messages in it right now. And let me start by showing you a cool little pro tip. See in the upper left-hand corner, my face? If I just touch on my face, my profile picture, I get this code. And then if I touch on my face again,
right here.
Yep. I see my code and scan code. Where's your phone at? Do you have your phone handy? If I can show her?
No, I don't.
Anyway, if I hit scan code,
right there,
right, then I just hold this up over the other person's phone, and now we're connected on Messenger. I don't have to go look for them. I don't have to find them. All right.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff, right? Let me back completely out of Messenger now and show you how to do that on Facebook. So you can do the exact same thing on Facebook. Just go into your page and down at the bottom right, hit the little menu button. All right. Let's see.
Down here.
Let's see. Go all the way to the bottom.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Go all the way to the bottom and see where it says, QR code. See where she's got the arrow right there, QR code. I can hit QR code. And then here is my QR code, right? And then if I go to scanner, all I have to do is put my scanner over the top of someone else's QR code, and we're now connected on Facebook. Pretty cool.
Yeah, you guys, what's so incredible about that is how many times have you tried to connect with somebody? You've asked this person that you just met at the doctor's office, are you on Facebook? And they say, yes, great, here's my name. Now you go to search them and there's 25 different people with that exact same name, and you're trying to look at the little picture to figure out if that's them or not. And if you're like me, like I met this person and then sometimes the picture doesn't look just like the person and you're going, is that them? I don't know. This cuts through all that. Like, boom, you got them connected. Done.
So look, let's go through this again real quick, right? So that question, the golden question, right? Are you on Facebook? Yes. Awesome. Let's connect. Pull your phone out, scroll all the way to the bottom. The very last thing says QR code, right? And then the scanner comes up. You show them to go there. They hit QR code, and you can share one or the other, right? So you hit QR code, they use scanner, you use scanner, hit their QR code, and now you guys are connected.
Now here's something else. You see right there, save to phone. You can save it to your pictures, and then when you connect with somebody, you don't even have to go through those steps. Say, hey, just scan me right here. You've got the picture in your favorites. You pull it up, bam.
Right.
Guys, awesome.
Pretty cool stuff. So then back on Messenger. So that's first step. Back on Messenger, right? Just to kind of highlight it again. Top left, put the cursor. See right here, guys. Top left, hit the profile picture. Hit the profile picture. There it is. Then you just hit your face. And now you've got your scan or my code, and you can swap and connect profiles right there. So now you're connected on Facebook, and now you're connected on Messenger. Pretty awesome stuff, guys. We're calling that kind of our digital business card. And I'm telling you guys, you're going to be, people are going to be like, wow, that's pretty cool. It's almost like starting a conversation. You can say, yeah, if you think that's cool, wait till you see the stuff that we're a part of.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, we were at an event, and we were in a loud area, and I just met this gentleman. He, an influential person, and we were going to try to connect on Facebook, and I'm trying to hear the spelling of his name, and I'm trying to, oh my gosh, if I'd have known this then, that would have been so beneficial because it would have been easy peasy.
Yeah, so I hope you guys can put that to use. I think it's powerful. So I think it's something, guys, that you should be implementing and using because, as Lynette said, I don't know how many Brandon Cunninghams or Lynette Cunninghams there are, but it cuts right through it and you're instantly connected. So next slide is some examples of messages you would use when requesting friends.
Yeah, because here's the deal. You do not want to send or accept a friend request without messaging them first, because you're building a relationship. That's how you're going to do it, is with Messenger. So here's a couple examples. Hey, Casey, I saw you in the fitness group. I love the exercise tips that you post. So cool to connect with you. I just sent you a friend request and would love to actually become your Facebook friend. Your chances of having them accept that request are so much higher after you've messaged them and identified where you know them from, why you're messaging them, right? The second one, hi, Casey, it looks like your interests align with mine. I just sent you a friend request and would love to connect with you on Facebook. It's that personal touch, that extra step that some people just don't or won't take. The last one there, hey, I saw you in whatever group. Love your comments, would love to get to know you. Let me know if you're open to being friends on Facebook. So 3 different options there. There's, you can come up with whatever you want, but the whole idea is that you message them when you send the friend request, but that's not all. When you receive a friend request.
Before you go to the next thing, guys, I would highly advise you, these are great scripts. I would highly advise you type these into your notes in your phone so that you can just copy and paste so that you don't have to remember these things. Just put that in your notes in your phone. And then whenever you want to request or receive, just copy, paste. Put these scripts in your phone so that you can expedite things.
Right, for sure. Okay. Now, when you receive a friend request, again, you don't just accept them, you message them. Casey, how are you? Looking forward to get to know you. She responds back, whatever, doing good, whatever she says. You respond again, thank you for reaching out. Looking forward to hear how we got connected. So now you've kind of opened the door for her to divulge. Why is she reaching out to you? How does she know you? And you may be surprised at the response, but either way, it's going to allow you to start to connect with her. If you don't know why she's requested you, it's a little weird. It's like, okay, well, I wonder how she knows me. Do we know the same person? And that one thing that connects you breaks the ice.
So guys, think about this. You want to create conversations. The best way to do that is that your last sentence is a question. All right. So these are great examples. Think of a question that you can put in here that will allow the conversation to continue.
Yeah. And you want to keep it short and concise. You don't want it to be lengthy. Everyone's lives are busy. You don't have time to type a long message. They don't have time to read it. So keep it short and concise to the point. But the question is key to opening up conversation. So that's it for Unit 2, you guys. We appreciate you joining us. There's so much more to come. So hopefully you're taking good notes because building blocks are stacking.
Yeah, just go back, guys. If you missed some of the stuff, go back through these a few times. It's our goal to keep these trainings coming to you. We are obviously very enthusiastic about what we've got to share with you guys because we see things working. We have messages and comments coming in all the time that are coming from this attraction marketing from social media. So we're pumped for you guys and can't wait for you to be implementing this, and stand by for Unit 3.